So I saw the new Pacific Rim. I think if you're a fan of the original, it might piss you off because it does feel like if you're a big fan of some of the concepts and the mythology of the original, this new one it uses them in a superficial way, but it doesn't really understand them, engage with them, flesh them out in new ways. So the whole idea of drift compatibility here is just used as a plot device to set up a villain rather than really fleshing out or exploring the concept. So it does have that corporate franchise feel where they'll use the symbols and different things of a franchise without really having any kind of passion, really any passion for them, and it can feel a bit soulless. So if you think any comparisons of the original Pacific Rim to Transformers or travesty and unfair, I don't think you'll like this one, because this one, it really does feel like they're trying to make this the next Transformers, but I think they did a lot to succeed. Now, they're obviously trying to appeal to the youth market, to the foreign market. They're trying to put a lot more effort, I'd say, into these epic action scenes and into the spectacle, but I think they succeed. I think the action scenes were excellent and visually beautiful to look at, really fun, really engaging. The only, if you want to compare it to the original Transformers, I think that the original Transformers, the story was a lot better, the characters were a lot better. So if you didn't like the story and the characters and thought it was weak in Transformers, you're really not going to like the story and the characters in this, because I think it's definitely worse. But the action, I'd say, is as good, and I'd say the action in this was better than the action in any of the other Transformers movies, except maybe the original. I thought the design of the Jaegers and the Kaiju, it was good, but seeing them in motion, it was excellent. It was great to see them in motion. The weapons they had and the innovative ways they used the different weapons, I thought was great. The slow-mo, now, there was a lot of slow-mo, but it felt earned. It felt like when you were seeing the slow-mo on the screen, what you were seeing, it was cool enough to warrant slow motion, and I'm glad they had it. Compare that to the new Tomb Raider, they used slow motion a couple of times, and it really grated on me, because I just felt like it wasn't earned what we were seeing on the screen in Tomb Raider. It wasn't that cool. Here, no, they really put a lot of effort, and there was some really cool stuff going on the screen, so if they want to throw some slow-mo in, you've earned it. Now, I think it's definitely fair to call this annihilation porn. At one point, one of the Jaegers is just pulling over skyscraper after skyscraper onto a kaiju, so it's definitely annihilation porn, but I feel like it does have stakes. I did feel that epic scale and that kind of apocalyptic world destruction feel. Now, it wasn't dark. It definitely was lighthearted and had a light tone, but nonetheless, I don't think something has to feel dark for you to really feel like it has this global scale, and I think this movie did have it. Now, when we get away from the action scenes and we get to the actual characters and their interactions, for me, it's a lot weaker. It's hit or miss. I like Boyega. Now, I didn't love him in Star Wars. He's good in Star Wars, but there wasn't much there. I liked him way better in this. I think when he has the British accent and he's more of a rebel, there's more personality shining through. So I liked him a lot better in this than Star Wars. I loved his interactions with the little urchin. She reminds me a lot of a young Rey, the lead in Star Wars, actually. I thought they had really good chemistry together. They were good apart. They were great together. So that was a bright spot for me. Nate, there's nothing there for me. I guess maybe he was supposed to be kind of the boring white guy foil to Boyega, but for me it was just, was nothing there. And the love triangle they tried to set up, I thought was awful. I thought that was one of the weakest parts of the movie for me. And then this next thing I say, it will be a bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want spoilers, stop watching now. Charlie Day, I think he's an okay villain. He's not a villain in the traditional sense, but in this new light tone, kid-friendly movie, I think he does a decent job playing a villain with a lot of comedic. They basically combine the two roles. He's villain and main comedic relief character, and I think he does a decent job pulling it off, being likable. I didn't find him grating or annoying. Now, Stephen S. DeKnight is the director. I have a lot of respect for him. He did the first season of Daredevil, and then he moved away for the second season, which I thought just collapsed in quality. So I don't know how much of an influence he has, but I definitely think that between this, Daredevil, I think he's a good director, and I'd like to see him do more stuff. Again, I'll say this movie, I don't think the characterization was particularly good. I don't think it was that funny. I don't think it did a lot of the non-fight scenes, the non-spectacle stuff particularly well. Like I say, even the first Transformers, way better non-fight stuff. But as far as actually setting up some great spectacles, which for me, that's kind of what you want to see when you go to a movie like this. You want to see the spectacle on the big screen. I thought it was fantastic. I can't really criticize it at all.